Hello, everyone. Welcome. So here today we have an interview with the Over 40s Wellness podcaster, Vincent. Vincent, welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. It's such a pleasure to be here and nice to have this opportunity to talk to you.
So Vincent is a friend of mine from Hong Kong. And what I was most impressed about Vincent is that while he have a really rich life history, as a teacher, as a business person, as a corporate leadership person, now he's doing something super cool. He's a podcaster on health for mature adults. So, Vincent, tell us a little bit about your podcast. I was very impressed with the quality of the educational material that you're able to put together for your audience.
Yeah, it's an interesting story because a few years ago, I did some mentoring with a business coach, and he said to me, "Oh, you need to start a podcast." And I said, "Okay." And it, I'll be very honest, it was something that was daunting for me. And it took me time to start doing it and start doing it regularly. But now it's up to almost to episode 100.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
It's amazing. Yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
what I really like about it is that, not only were you definitely a teacher and you are a wellness coach, so you have no problem with formal teaching, so you have that skill down pack. But what I like about your podcast is that it's very funny, it's very light, but yet it's full of educational content. I thought that was a really nice way of embracing technology and the modern era of communication with education. I thought it was really nice.
yeah. So I started when I left university, I went directly into teaching and I taught for 16 years. And I think once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. And that sort of thirst for knowledge. And also when you're a teacher, you have to be able to explain it in the language of the person that you're teaching. So I think that gives me a kind of an edge because that's something I did formally for a long time. And now I'm just continuing the same practice with a different hat on. Yeah.
There's another thing is I was surprised that, um, I met lots and lots of teachers. I mean, like educational, like professional, academic, as well as in yoga and meditation. It's very nice to meet a teacher that doesn't have a big ego, that will continue to learn and take classes from other teachers. And you are definitely one of those people that have very little ego. And when you took my hormone yoga class, I was a little impressed and intimidated. And when you took my breathing class, I was extremely intimidated because you teach breathing to your clients as well. So I just want to say thank you, and you inspire me and you humble me to continue on my own teaching career, so to speak. So thank you for demonstrating what it's like to be a good teacher, who's a good learner.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I think what I come back to on that one is that it's always been something that I've had inside of me is a growth mindset. I've never been one that feels okay. Now I've arrived. Now I know everything. So now I can just tell people how it is, and I've arrived. No, I would say it's the contrary. The more I understand, the more I understand that I don't understand, and that just drives me on to learn more. And also, when somebody takes the trouble to give a class, then I take the trouble to listen. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, talking about making an effort to do things. There's only so much time and day and energy in the day. For me, I'm always about trying to incorporate yoga and meditation practice in everyday activities. You know, I don't want people to just sit at the yoga mat or sit at a cushion. Okay, 3 times a day, I will be nice and kind. The rest of the day, I do my crazy thing. No, no, no. We want this practice to be incorporated every day so you could build it into your habit. And I noticed that you do that, which is very nice. Could you maybe, I think you have a funny story. Could you like to share with us how you incorporate fitness into your everyday life, living in a crazy
Yeah,
world like in Hong Kong?
I think many stories. When I used to live in France, and when I lived in France, I used to go snowboarding. And the nice thing about snowboarding, it gives you a kind of a good balance. So when I'm riding on the MTR, then I refuse to hand onto the rails. And that might seem strange, but it really trains me to keep my balance. And I hope when I go back to France this winter, I can get back on my snowboard and reuse my balance. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I used to do a snowboarding and I spent a lot of time on my butt because of my balance. It's quite a challenge. And for those of you who don't know what MRT is the mass transit in Hong Kong system. It's one of the best public transport system in the world. It is amazingly clean. It's easy to use, and it is that something that everybody does. But you know, when you take the transit, most of the people on their phone, holding onto the handrail or leaning against something, so they're not using their core. So they just wasted their half an hour, 45-minute train ride to and from work, looking at their eye, hurting their back instead of working on their core. And what a missed opportunity, what a shame. That's something that you could do every day. Now I want to say that how I get to know Vincent is that he actually was so kind. When I first got to Hong Kong, I didn't know anyone. Somehow we met, and then he said, "Oh, why don't you come and give a talk on your journey to Hong Kong as a yoga teacher?" So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he invited me to the to meet his colleagues and the BNI, the business network in Hong Kong. And then now he and I and another colleague from BNI, we are collaborating on a retreat for mature adults and the theme of the retreat will be healthy aging. So like Vincent, would you like to talk a little bit of this collaborative approach or this tendency that you seem to naturally demonstrate, that you naturally possess?
Yeah, I think I would take a step backwards and say that, all the way through school and all the way through my growing up, I played in teams. Most of the sports that I played were team sports. And one thing that you learn from team sports, it's impossible to do everything yourself. So, and also the other thing you learn from team sports is the team is bigger than the individuals. So if you put a group of individuals together, what it means is potentially what's going to come out of that is going to be bigger than just getting the 3 people sort of telling whatever they want to tell individually. So this is something which is intrinsic to me. I love working with teams, and also working with teams, it's another opportunity to learn as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you, Vincent, for sharing your growing mindset, to continue to learn, and your opportunist and finding nice opportunity to every day to incorporate active living in your everyday life. And I think this collaborative approach is very special. There's so many people not into collaboration, or if they are, they're really about more like me against you, or how we take things from each other rather than really working together and building something bigger. I think that is very special, and I think that is really nice from a student teacher point of view to have that relationship with the people that we work with, so they felt ownership in their own progress as well.
Yeah, I would endorse that at 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Vincent. So, so for anyone who want to know more about what Vincent do and his podcast, and definitely watch out for his 100 podcast that's coming up soon. And we will put Vincent's the podcast link down below. And we look forward to hear from you guys again. Bye bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.